Well, after the terror attack, the terror scare, just a scare in Kenya alone was fatal yesterday. And Peter has more on this story now.
That's right, Francis. For more on this story, we're now joined by Professor Rok Ajulu, who's a senior partner at Dayo Associates, and he's joining us from our Pretoria studios. Professor, thank you very much for joining us, and welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Prof, this stampede at the weekend, where the students at the Kikuyu campus at Nairobi felt or thought immediately that it was another attack, I guess points to the heightened fear that Kenyans are living under since Garissa.
Yes, that was to be expected. And I think that, any other person would have reacted the same. And particularly after Garissa and the attacks last year at the supermarket in the center of town, right in Nairobi. So one understands what sparked the stampede. I'm reliably informed that the noise from the substation was really very huge. And coming within a week of Garissa attack, you can understand why the students reacted in the manner that they did, which is unfortunate, but is understandable.
All right, so 400 people have been killed on Kenyan soil just in the past 2 years. Can the Kenyan people be blamed for perhaps losing some faith that the government perhaps hasn't got the security situation under control?
I think that the blame lies squarely on the government security system. I think we can safely say that, over the last 2-3 years, the Kenyan security they've been sleeping on the job. Kenya has got a large Muslim community. The whole of Coast Province, the whole of Northeastern, Nairobi has got a very substantial Muslim community. And one would have thought that the moment Kenya made the decision to go after Al-Shabaab in Somalia, they were going to open themselves to this kind of attack because there's a huge recruiting ground for these kind of people. So whoever designed the Somali project should have thought, what security are we putting in place to protect our people, because this is expected. So Kenyans are now living in a situation where they don't know where the attack is coming next. That's the reality.
All right.
The problem with the security is simply this: the security has been so much caught in the political situation. First, it was them there to organize the elections, to make sure that their candidates win. Then thereafter, they are preoccupied with the Hague and how to protect the president from the Hague trial. So completely taken their eyes off what they were supposed to do.
All right, so they've retaliated since Garissa with airstrikes on Shabaab targets in Somalia. And also closing down some informal commercial financial firms like these money changers. Can we expect retaliation from Al-Shabaab as a result of these measures?
No, that's going to come, because I don't think that it's one thing to retaliate against Al-Shabaab in Somalia, but I think the most important thing is to put security in place in Nairobi, in the big towns, and particularly Northeastern Province, where the border is very porous and these people can cross anytime. So what you need to have in place is security in the key areas. And then you can pursue Al-Shabaab later on, but make sure that there's security in place, because we don't know where the next attack is coming from, whether it's going to be in Mombasa, Nairobi, or once again in Northeastern. I was just looking at the papers yesterday, and I found out that even as far west as in Kakamega, some people have been caught with bombs. So every potential recruit is likely to do damage So the security in Kenya must act in a way that they can demonstrate that they have control over.
Might we see more attacks against tertiary institutions, as we saw just now? I know that they were particularly vulnerable at a time. Garissa, I believe, that were only 2 police officers on duty at the time. Is this a new tactic by Shabab, or will they move on to something else, do you think?
No, I think their tactics is to look at soft targets. Which will give them maximum publicity. So it might not be, the next time round must not be a university, but well, it could be a marketplace. It could be just like the Boko Haram in Nigeria. They look for soft targets, which kills many people. They have immediate publicity, and that's what they want.
All right. Okay, we're going to have to leave it there, Prof. Thank you very much indeed for sharing your insights with us this evening.
Thank you very much for having me.
That was Professor Rok Ajulu, who was talking to us about the terror situation. I don't think there's any other word that we can use to describe what's been happening in Kenya recently. And of course, that stampede that happened at the weekend that killed 1 and more than 100 people injured when they thought that an explosion at the university was in fact an attack. Francis?